On your mobile, on your wavelength, Talk Radio and Talk TV.
Hello. Good evening to you. It's Petrie here with you until 1 o'clock. And coming up at midnight, of course, we do have the phone-in. And the phone-in, not at 1 o'clock, at midnight, sorry, we have the phone-in. Phone-in is the countryside racist and colonial? That is what we're asking about. And I did ask you if you would send a WhatsApp, because this is all very new to me. The WhatsApp number is the same as the phone number. It's 0344 499 1000. And Carol did it, and it's green. Not that means anything to you, but I saw texts and things are all different colours on my screen so I can identify them. And the WhatsApps come in as green, so thank you, Carol. She says, surely we have enough countryside to share with anybody who wants to enjoy it. It's getting almost as though we have to apologise for being white and British, which is almost driving a wedge between people for absolutely no reason. And that's from Carol on WhatsApp. So thank you very much indeed. And Bill in Fleet sent a text saying, as if the hate group were ever going to say no. This is a hate studies group that has come up with this theory that well, it may be true, that the British countryside is racist and colonial. So he says, as if they were going to find any other answer to the question. Are the inner city areas of London racist due to the amount of faces of colour? Turn it in. And that's from Bill in Fleet. So that's what we're talking about through the midnight hour. So please do get ready to give me a call. 0344 499 1000. As somebody of colour, have you found the countryside to be unhelpful, nasty, so too scary to all those white people that you don't go out there? Give me a call. In the meantime, though, delighted to say that Van Connor is with us now, who's a film critic. Good evening, Van. I had to remember what time of the day it is.
It's that extra hour. It's messing with us all. I know. I'm not used to being this fresh-faced this early in the evening. It's a new ball game for me entirely.
I know, and you're in the studio next week as well, I hear. So
I am. I'm doing new stuff.
Yeah. It's going to be good. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. Let's have a look at the films that you've chosen first, and then we'll get to the news. The Iron Claw.
Yeah, The Iron Claw is the new movie from the guy that brought to us Martha, Marcy, May, Marlene. It's like a limerick if you say that 3 times fast.
Yeah.
Sean Durkin, writer-director of this. This is an adaptation of the true story of the Von Erich family of wrestlers who, like, there was a dad who had come up in, I think it was the 70s, and then was the champion that wasn't. Then he raised his sons, and he had 6 of them, and he raised them all to be wrestlers and follow in his footsteps, and the dream was, like, get that belt in the house.
I thought this was a Marvel movie. It's not a Marvel movie, then.
No, that's Iron Fist. That's Iron Fist. This one's Iron Claw.
Yeah. You can see why I thought that, though.
Easy mistake, that one, to be fair. Yeah. One's kung fu, one's wrestling.
Right, okay.
And one's a true story. Yeah.
Right, okay.
But yeah, so you got Zac Efron, Harris Dickinson, Jeremy Allen White from The Bear. They are the young sons, and he's about this family curse where just tragedy just befalls this, like, true story wrestling legacy family. I've got a clip for you. This is from the trailer. It's like a sizzle reel. Like I say, heaped on the tragedy with this.
Together, we can do anything.
We're here to restore justice to the Wrestling Federation that our father built with his own 2 hands. The hands that were passed down to us. The hands that will deliver the Iron Claw to you.
So what do you think? Like, we're alive.
I love your family, Kevin.
Hungry, Uncle? Yes, sir.
Oh, man, that makes me so happy.
I'll talk to you about something, Mom. Dad's too tough on us. You gotta say something.
Baby, that's what your brothers are for.
Feel that? You feel that? That's pressure.
Is it worth a watch?
I really liked it. I think it's one of the best movies ever made about wrestling, to be fair. Like, I think
is
it's
it
up
the
there
only
with
one?
Well, no, there's 2008's The Wrestler by Darren Aronofsky as well, that's a great drama, but this is like a true story drama. And I mean, I kind of know the story, so I know they've taken some liberties, and some of the choices are a bit Argo-esque in terms of like, I get why you thought it might be too far-fetched to include that, but that was the truth.
Yeah.
Some decisions like that. But it's a pretty great movie. The performances are brilliant. It's only in relationship to its own true events that it's depicting that it starts to fall apart. Other than that, it's actually a really great, and actually in any other year, I think, pretty Oscar-worthy movie.
But if you're not interested in wrestling, would you still want to watch it?
Yes, he absolutely has that sort of prestige drama tragedy appeal around it. Kind of like when you saw Mark Wahlberg in The Fighter, for instance, with Christian Bale. It kind of has that vibe going for it, but with just a little bit more mainstream Hollywood whimsy in terms of the sort of family curse element.
Okay, all right. And American fiction, we just had Josh Rom in, who interviewed Jeffrey Wright, talking about American fiction. I've heard nothing but good stuff about this. What's your review?
It's going to be a continuation of nothing but good stuff, Petrie. To be really honest, like, hats off to Josh. I mean, he's been in the presence of royalty there. Good old Jeffrey Rush, who deserves that Oscar nod that he's gotten for this. So this is the debut directorial effort of Cord Jefferson, who started out as a writer on The Good Place and then just sort of found his way through Watchmen on HBO to being like a prestige writer, and is now making his debut and has turned out to be something of a bit of a visionary. Like, he's got a very unique sensibility that works really well here. And this stars Jeffrey Wright, very different movie as Jeffrey Rush. The other Jeff. Not Jeffrey Combs either. The other Jeff. Jeffrey Wright as an African-American author/professor who is just kind of tired of what he perceives to be the stereotypical view of black culture in America today. And he's tired of like what he just exaggerated John Singleton movies and everyone has to be a gangster or a pimp. He hates that image. And one night whilst drunk, he comes up with a joke text, a joke memoir for a fictional character who doesn't exist, parodying all these things, and then accidentally becomes a viral sensation because of it, and has to pretend to be all the things that he hates and despises. I've got a clip for you, though. This is of the man himself. And this is him, like, just in his natural state, in a bookstore reacting to his books being just simply shuffled away into the quote-unquote, like, black literary section.
Here you go.
Right. Yeah. Wait a minute. Why are these books here?
I'm not sure. I would imagine that this author, Ellison, is black.
That's me. Ellison. Yeah. He is me, and he and I are black.
Oh, bingo.
No bingo, Ned. These books have nothing to do with African American studies. They're just literature. The blackest thing about this one is the ink.
I don't decide what sections the books go in, and no one here does. That's how chain stores work.
Right. Ned, you don't make the rules.
That's very funny. I like it. Yeah, that's very funny.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's clever, it's sharp, it's witty. I really liked it.
Yeah.
It's the kind of film that it'd be a waste of time, I think, to the average popcorn audience at like 9 p.m. on a Saturday night at the multiplex kind of thing. But it's absolutely my bag. Like, it's my kind of acerbic wit, sharp tongue. Let's swing at an issue, and it works on, I think, a slightly more biting level. I think, and it does go slightly more to the left. Obviously, it goes without saying. But great performance from Jeffrey Wright, not Jeffrey Rush, obviously, and a fellow Oscar nominee, Best Supporting Actor, Sterling K. Brown. For this. Both deserve performances. Really great turn. Sterling K. Brown does steal every scene that he's in. And it's very obvious that he just had the time of his life working on this. It's just a great, very emotionally fueled, energetic performance. Yeah. I really loved it. It was a movie that really took me to a place that I was quite intrigued by.
I literally haven't heard anybody say anything bad about it. So, and it sounds interesting, and it's fresh. It's not.
Yes.
It's not a prequel, sequel, or geekquel. You know, it's done.
Geekquel. I like that one. Geekquel. I'm going to use that, Petrie.
I just invented that. It works though, eh?
It does. We're having that.
Right, we're having that. Let's move on to Tom Cruise, circling for a role with Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, so Tarantino's going to give us his 10th and allegedly final movie. Oh, they all do this, though. I don't think it's going to be his final one. Yeah. This is going to be like Soderbergh. It's not going to stop at 10. He'll come back in like 5 or 10 years for the great comeback, and it's probably like a $600 million movie funded by Netflix Prime by then.
Yeah, of course.
But, you know. But yeah, for his 10th and allegedly final movie, The Movie Critic, which we know is a throwback to a movie critic in, I think, the 1970s. And Tarantino is using this as an excuse to like refilm bits from like classic exploitation cinema, things like Rolling Thunder, which is one of my personal like go-to like grindhouse exploitation faves of that era. And apparently Tom Cruise is circling a role in it, which is not without time, to be fair. He has a relationship with like Hollywood royalty going back, you know, the decades he's been doing this. It's now been 30 years since like Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction came out. God. He's part of the establishment.
God,
yeah, no, it is.
Makes me feel so old. That does.
I know, me too. I know, me too. My inner teenager just crumbles at the thoughts.
Yeah. Oh, blimey. Well, I mean, why not? I suppose Tom Cruise, he needs to get a bit edgy, I think, perhaps.
It would make sense. We forget that like Cruise worked with like Kubrick and people like that.
That's true. Eyes Wide Shut, wasn't it? But, which I thought was a very overrated film, to be honest. But anyway, I know that's controversial. But very quickly, Van, because we've got about 20 seconds. Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, is coming back to cinemas.
Yes, it's 25 this year, and because it's the anniversary of 1999, aka the greatest year in cinema, and the most controversial blockbuster of our era is going back to cinemas. I think for its second re-release in my time reviewing, actually, because they did this in 3D in 2014. I think they reissued it in 3D.
They missed a trick though, Van, because it's coming back on May the 3rd, not May the 4th.
I know. It's totally, it's totally something they can say it was in cinemas for May the 4th. That's totally what that was.
It's got to be May the 4th be with you. But anyway, Van, thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you next week. Van Connor, film critic there. You're with Petrie. Stay where you are because we're going through the papers next with Phil Dave.